What's going on, guys? It's been hot as hell in my city. Man, it's been so hot that the central air doesn't do it. I put it at 72, and it's like at 80. You know, it can't even get to like 75. So it's definitely hot. But what I want to speak about today is people who suffer with sociopathy. All right, so sociopathy is a very general term. It's a term that isn't really clearly defined. It's defined by symptoms, just like autism isn't really. There's no definition of autism. There are symptoms. It's a symptom-based illness. And at one point in time, I wanted to be a psychologist. I took college courses and things like that. Did some internships. Did some things in the field. I want to be involved with it because psychology as a field, as a discipline, isn't really about helping people. But I don't want to go into that. It's a whole different conversation. All right, basically what I want you to understand is you can't let yourself get upset when you encounter certain personalities out there. Whenever you see somebody or deal with somebody who seems to be unusual or not responding in a normal way, and it drives you crazy, like, why is this person doing this? Why are they doing that? A lot of times it's because they have traces of sociopathy and narcissism. And assuming that you're a normal person who has a normally functioning brain, because you might be the person who has these illnesses yourself. But basically, for example, a narcissistic person is like I had a conversation with an individual, right? And we were standing in front of my vehicle. I had just been in a car accident the day before. The vehicle was crashed, messed up. Any normal person would have said, Jesus Christ, did you get in an accident? What happened? The narcissist who I was speaking with didn't even really notice it. He looked at it, of course, but he didn't say anything. And when I told him, hey, I was in an accident yesterday, guess what he did? Oh yeah? Yeah, man. I remember when I was in an accident last year, and he went on for about 30 minutes talking about his experience with accidents. He didn't even ask me, were you okay? Where did it happen? You know what I mean? How did it happen? Nothing. Narcissistic people who have traces of sociopathy, they look at everything as a challenge, everything as a competition. In their world, they view themselves as being better than everybody else. They view themselves as being the supreme ego, the supreme being in their world. Everything is considered a competition and a threat to their dominance. If you go up to a narcissist and say, hey, I just had some bubble gum, they're going to say, I had some bubble gum yesterday. Or if you're having a conversation with somebody and you're like, hey man, I just left the beach, I had a good time. The narcissist with traces of sociopathy is going to come in and interrupt the conversation. Oh yeah, I remember when I went to the beach, man, I had fun, I did this. Everything is a threat. Even a basic conversation about yourself and in their perception is a threat to their dominance. So they have to compete and they have to win. And people like this are everywhere. Most of the time they aren't diagnosed because it's not really a debilitating disease to the point where it prevents them from 100% working and being in society. But it does create problems for them because they can't socialize with people in a normal way. You see, the narcissist basically can't be around the same group of people for too long because eventually those people will see this person as a liar. Something is weird with this person. So they tend to be around new people a lot. They have to be around new people constantly because they have to play new characters. They have to present themselves in new ways. If they stay around the same group of people for too long, that group of people will pretty much find out that they are narcissists, and their behavior is going to be so unusual that people will probably realize something's wrong with this person on a mental level. So narcissists tend to love to be around new people because that's a fresh person who they can, they're basically playing like a character, and they have to have new people to play. It's like a new person doesn't know anything about them. They don't know that they're a narcissist. They don't know that they're a liar. They don't know that they're a sociopath. So they constantly need to be around new people, and also they're always around new people because they're always getting kicked out from where they are. They might have a job for a year. Once that their narcissism infects their job, for example, on the job, a narcissist with sociopathy, they will be a regular employee, but they'll tell everybody what to do as if they're the boss. And even if their employer tells them basic things like do this, do that, they'll take that as a threat, they'll take that as competition, and they'll actually show, and they will go out of their way to show that employer that they are in control. And usually they always have problems with authority. Usually they have issues with paying their bills and stuff like that. They end up in civil court. They get sued. They get garnished. They have issues with the law. Like if the police say, hey, do this, do that, they're not going to do it. They're going to turn it into a big deal because they look at everything as a threat. Everything is a competition with them. And in their mind, they have to excel. They have to prove that they are in control. And because of this, it causes problems with them and people. They aren't able to socialize or integrate into human society, because in human society, a normal person has to compromise, sympathize, and empathize. That's normal. That's what you have to do to survive around other people. But a narcissist with sociopathy can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't have empathy. They don't have the ability to compromise, and they don't have the ability to sympathize. You understand what I'm saying? And they hate being told no. If you tell them no, even if it's like something small, like, hey, can you stop doing this? You know, like, for example, if at work, a narcissist is a regular employee. They're not the boss, but they keep acting like the boss. And the real boss says, hey, stop acting like the boss. You're a regular employee. They'll get upset, and they might act violently. Any threat to their dominance is like any threat to their ego or their dominance or their perception of their superiority, they'll lash out. And when they lie and you catch them in a lie, they get very upset. They get very upset when they get caught in lies. When you catch them in a lie and confront them about their lies, they get so upset that they act violently. But if you pretend and fake it with them and let their fantasy world exist and play along with them, they'll love you. So yeah, man, I hope this helps you. And if you run across somebody like this, please don't take it too personal. They can't help themselves. They literally can't. They have a mental disability. Peace.